Everything rises and falls on leadership. John C. Maxwell. Every issue with people, in my opinion, is a leadership issue. Therefore, there is a constant demand for effective leaders. Every time and everywhere, everything rises and falls on leadership, according to John C. Maxwell. This suggests that effective leadership is necessary for the success of every human life and every human society. For instance, for things to move in the proper way, families, communities, and cities, as well as countries and the entire world, requires strong, effective leadership. I believe that leadership is the solution to life's problems. In reality, leadership is God's method for meeting needs, resolving problems, winning battles, and establishing His purpose here on earth. Therefore, my purpose in this program is to help you discover the leadership qualities that are in you. I want you to follow me on the journey of discovering your leadership through this special leadership program. It is my earnest desire to inspire you and to help you become the leader you were meant to be. Now, let's dive into today's subject. Success in life comes from great leadership. Whether you are an entrepreneur, business owner, or manager, true leadership is about striving to become better in all areas of life and empowering everyone around you to become the best versions of themselves. Actually, I truly believe that whether things are good or bad, leadership is the way forward. Being a leader entails providing solutions, serving as a beacon of hope, assisting and supporting others. You are a great leader regardless of your background story, my dear friend. You carry hidden abilities to provide solutions to many people's problems. Indeed, the world is secretly looking for you for the next major breakthrough. In the meantime, before you can experience the reality of your leadership potential, you must first discover leadership within you. Leadership, indeed, is a treasure that must be discovered. God has wired you in a unique way for a specific leadership role on earth. He has put special qualities for leadership in you. These qualities you must urgently discover. It has been said that trapped within every follower is a hidden leader. Although you may ask, if every follower is a potential leader, then who is going to follow? The answer is the essence of what the original philosophy of leadership was intended to be. Leadership is inherent in the human spirit of every person. However, only a minute fraction of the human population ever knows, discovers, believes, or attempts to develop or release this hidden leadership potential. In my experience as a leader in various situations over a decade and through my personal observations of other leaders, I have discovered a 4-factor leadership model for effective leadership. The 4 factors are biblical principles for life and leadership. They are namely 1. The talent factor, 2. The physiological factor, 3. The spiritual factor, and 4. The social factor. The talent factor refers to the area of your strength, your natural abilities. The physiological factor refers to the ability to understand and effectively manage your own behavior. The social factor refers to your ability to effectively connect with others for your good and for their good. The spiritual factor refers to the awareness of your identity and authority for a prevailing life. Leadership has often been defined as a journey. The journey begins with the starting point, and that starting point is the self. Before you can lead others, you must learn to lead yourself. Bedrock principles of self-leadership begins with the desire to make a positive difference in the world. Learning what you can do as well as what you cannot do is essential to self-development. Critical to development is a profound understanding of one's abilities as well as one's liabilities. Leaders who succeed are those who know themselves inside and out. While coming to terms with yourself is a private matter, failing to come to terms with your own limitations as a leader affects your ability to lead. To lead yourself successfully, you must identify your blind spots and deal with them effectively. Everyone has the potential to lead on some level, and anyone can become better at leading. While it is true that some people are born with traits that help them to become better leaders than others, those natural attributes are only the starting point. Great leaders don't start out great. Leadership is developed, not discovered. It is a process. Three main components come into play in the development of a leader. 1. Environment. 2. Exposure. 3. Equipping. These three elements come into play in the development of a leader. Now, let's examine them one after the other. How does your environment affect your leadership development? A person's environment has a tremendous impact on his potential. Leadership is more thoughts than thoughts. As the saying goes, you are a product of your environment. Remember this, environment shapes us and makes us think the way we do. More important, the size of your thinking, your goals, your attitudes, your very personality is formed by your environment. Prolonged association with negative people makes us think negatively. Close contact with pretty individuals develops pretty habits in us. On the bright side, companionship with people with big ideas raises the level of our thinking. Close contact with ambitious people gives us ambition. Experts agree that the person you are today, your personality, ambitions, present status in life are largely the result of your physiological environment. And experts agree also that the person you will be in 5, 10, or 20 years from now depends almost entirely on your future environment. Now that we have examined the impact of our environment and how it affects our leadership potential, let's move on to exposure. Exposure is synonymously related to environment because they go hand in hand. So what is exposure? Exposure is the ability to expand and broaden your horizon to know the possibilities that are out there beyond your scope of reference. Exposure is very powerful. Exposure is a miracle and can also be a blessing in the life of a human, even though it can be destructive. There are many of us, for instance, who have not been exposed to certain possibilities that are out there beyond our scope of reference. Moving on to equipping. In his excellent book, What Successful People Know About Leadership, leadership expert and author John C. Maxwell gives some pretty advice for leaders when he wrote, "The one thing you can do to have the greatest impact on your leadership potential is to be intentional every day about becoming equipped to lead. Every book you read, every lesson you absorb, every principle you apply helps you to become a better leader and takes you another step forward in your leadership potential." Oliver Wendell Holmes, the great Supreme Court Justice, once said that there are three types of people in the world. There are people who make things happen. There are people who watch what is happening. And there are people who haven't the slightest idea of what is happening. Personal development expert and author Brian Tracy said this: "Leadership is the ability to get extraordinary achievements from ordinary people." While this is a more inwardly focused trait, self-awareness and humility are paramount for leadership. The better you understand yourself and recognize your own strengths and weaknesses, the more effective you can be as a leader. Each one of us was created to rule, govern, control, master, manage, and lead our environments. You are in essence a leader, no matter who you are. True leadership is an attitude that naturally inspires and motivates others, and it comes from an internalized discovery about yourself. Leaders think differently about themselves, and this distinguishes them from followers. If you want to be a leader or a better leader, remember that it's all up to you. It's in your hands, or even more important, in your mind. You are what you think you are. Your self-image determines your performance. You can become a much more effective leader by changing your self-concept, the way you think about yourself as a leader. Therefore, if you want to be as successful as someone else, then find out what they did and do the same. Do the same things successful leaders do over and over again, and eventually you will get the same results. A related law is the law of belief. It states that if you believe in something with conviction, what you believe in will become your reality. Or, to put it another way, you are what you believe you are. Philosopher William James said, "Belief creates the actual fact." Beliefs are more important than facts. Any fact facing us, however difficult, even seemingly hopeless, is not so important as our attitude toward that fact. How you think about a fact may defeat you before you even do anything about it. You may permit a fact to overwhelm you mentally before you start to deal with it actually. On the other hand, a confident and optimistic thought pattern can modify or overcome the fact altogether. So how do you grow as a leader? How do you go from average to being exceptional? You have to raise your standard no matter your level of leadership, and you raise your standard by surrendering yourself with the right people that are on the same standard. Anything short of that will diminish your influence as a leader. This is the quickest way to grow. The second thing is to learn about the topic, whatever it is, whatever area you want to raise your standard in. I admonish you, be open to learn, grow, be vulnerable, take the course, attend the class, seek out mentors who have been there before you, read books on leadership. With this knowledge, the key to becoming a leader is to change your beliefs. If you want to live beyond what you are living right now, you've got to change your belief system, your way of thinking. You have heard me say it over and over again that you will never become a true leader until you discover how to think, talk, and act like a leader. Listen, my friend, you have the capacity to lead, but you need the mentality for it. You have the ability to lead, but you need the understanding to do it. You have the potential to lead, but you need to have a revelation of leadership. Leaders are born when you have a discovery of a new belief system. The secret to anyone rising is what happens in their mind. Your life is exactly what you think it should be. That is exactly what you are right now. You are what you think, and you become what you continue to think. As the saying goes, as he thinks, so is he. As he continues to think, so he remains. Therefore, if you don't like who you are, you've got to change what you think you should be. That is how leaders are born. No amount of training in leadership skills, courses in management methods, power titles, promotions, or associations can substitute for the right attitude. Consequently, your leadership development is determined by 1. Your perception of who you are. 2. By why you think you exist. And 3. Your sense of significance. These are the keys to becoming a leader. You have to first change your perception of who you are, and that starts with a new belief system. Secondly, you must change your perception of why you think you exist. Thirdly, your sense of significance. You have to get to the point where you believe that you are important to the world, you are important to your generation, and you are important to the human race. Adapting these attitudes are the keys to becoming a leader. As we wrap up, remember, a leader is someone who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. In conclusion, you have the power to shape your destiny. May your journey be characterized by extraordinary results and boundless success. Thank you. God bless you.